Naga origin, US citizen based out of Idaho State. He's an ordained minister from the church. He's famous martial arts with more than 30 plus years of experience in various martial arts. He also runs a gym in Nampa which caters to kids, youths, single mom and adults. Also a recipient of Mayor's Award and many more. Inaga Kurigina. He is visiting Nagaland after more than 30 years. His name is Cosmo Zimik. Taiba Aji Yede Koanishna Nagaland after 30 years Aina January 11 there. Hotel Bliss, which is located at Chumukitima Yediwa, Tailaga empty hand combat aro International Missionary Network USA laga oporde. Itu hala oporde ekta press conference rakhigina ase. Abi amingan channel press conference te. Itu empty hand combat to kia ase aro International Missionary Network USA yedi tahan kam kina chuligina jai itu press conference te jana detail ba amigan huni sabo.
Hello everyone. Global Window ke bisi thanks diye ase. Aji mugan yete press conference nimide matia to tahan idea nimide bisi thanks ase aro aji mugan yete aina sob manuke kotha share korle mun thaka do yete mola guest khan ase America para ase and taihando ekta missionary bi ase aro sports person ase aro taihando le to more than 30 years experience thagina kam kurina agan ase so alag jaga te India egla no hoina Africa te hole bi Mexico Europe alag countries te than birai jaina isorla kam kurina sports ke promote kurina itu egla no Burma Manipur North East hole bi Delhi itu sob jaga de bi than sports ministry kurina manu base manu ke help kurina aise especially orphans khan logote tan kam kurina aise itu egla no hoina widows khan or widowers khan nimide aro economically backward tha khan ke tan madad kurina aise to kwan is na tan India de tan dangor mission kurule mun thakigina dangor kam kurbo garib manuan ke help kurbo aro kunba manu duk suk thakigina ase gulu tan ke ekta future ekta hope dibo nimide tan la time sacrifice kurina iniala kam self sustain grow parala kam no lebi ekta voluntary ekta tan kam green ahiase to aji chumukidima de press conference aina inya mohan ahibo paratu le to basic khushi ase aro kwan is na tai jun ke moi time dibo tai jun laga vision ki ase aro ki nimide takan yede Nagaland de ahina ase itu ambi mohan aro honi lobo to ida first to le to moila guest Cosmo Zimik tai dole to grand master ase martial arts alag martial arts se tai black belt degree ase aro tai laga US te America te tai gym bi chulani empty hand combat enia wana chulai na manu besi bacha khan ke loina maiki khan muta khan dangor khan ke enia wana community te ekta change ania manu ase tai ekta social reformer ase to America ekla no ena alag countries te bi tai eniga isor laga kam to kurina tai bira manu ase to tai lote mohan hunibo ti tai laga vision ki ase aro tai laga Nagaland de aha laga maksad ki ase itu tan lote moi hunibo.
Yeah. Well, I'll speak in English because I was in Dimapur 30 years ago. So I may look young, but I'm pretty old. 34 years ago, I was in Dimapur area, and actually one of my kung fu was right here in Dimapur. But I just want to share real quick what we do. We are actually wanting to do a lot of self-sustaining. We don't have a lot of money. We're not here to hand out money, but we want to do this project that will self-sustain like the windmill. So it will replicate the money and move on. And the purpose of doing all this is we want to promote Jesus, we want to promote Christ. So all these things happened in Delhi when I was right after the college. I almost died, and God gave me a second chance. So I've been serving God since 1994, 95. And eventually I went to US, and I am from, of course, Manipur, but belonging to the Tangkhul Naga community. We are just looking for something that's very extraordinary, which means we're not trying to compete with the school, existing school. We're not trying to compete with microloan, existing microloan, but we are always looking for a place where nobody wants to go or nobody wants to do it. So we have a few schools in Manipur. We have 3 schools now. And some of these schools, nobody wants to do the school, and there's no school in that area. So we went and just started a school. One we took over, one we have been doing it for over 20 years. But right now in Manipur, we have 47 staff, and then we also have a lot of volunteer types works and support that we're supporting, the humanitarian efforts all over the world, Africa and India, South India. So we're here today because we want to tell you that we're not here to compete with anybody in Nagaland, but we want to challenge people to do what we are doing. We're going to start a small Bible school here too, like a Bible college type. But we want people to do what we're doing. So we're here to encourage people, and maybe they see what we're doing and they'll start doing it. But maybe my wife can share a little bit about how long our nonprofit has been and how long we have to come to India. This is Sarah Zimik, my wife.
So in 2003, we started the nonprofit to help India, to help specifically in Manipur. And so since 2003, we have friends and family who support us, and we only want the best for Manipur. So like Cosmo said, it's not to take over any existing ministries, but it's really to support those who are downtrodden, who seem to have no hope. And we try to come back and visit as much as possible. And when we do, it's such a great opportunity just to listen to people, and we get to meet people from all over. And we get to also visit the schools and work with them in their spoken English. We try to bring visitors to help us to help the students with their spoken English. And so it's been really a neat thing because for me, education is a given, right? The government schools are going to be open and running, or you can attend private school. But in many of the villages, the government school may or may not be open, and the students may or may not be able to attend a private school. And so when my husband told me what his mom had to do in order to send him to school, she had to sell the umarak, the king chili, on the side of the road to send him to school. And so anything that we can do to provide opportunities for students to receive a quality education is in our heart to do, and also at the same time empower those who don't have very much, like the widows in the villages, the older people in the villages. So that's all we try to do. It's not very big at all. It's very small, but anyone can do something small. We can all start very small. We can help one person. And that's a great thing. And so that's all we're trying to do here.
So in the U.S., currently we have 2 dojo, meaning 2 martial arts school. So one is existing, we have 240 students, and we're starting the second one, which we're expecting 500 to 800 students. So we have around 200, 240 students, but in a year we have around 1,000 students come and goes. So one of the things we do is we use Kung Fu, we use kickboxing, kickboxing. We use it to actually draw them to God, to Jesus. So how do we do that? We give them free scholarship. So even in America, there are a lot of poor people. Sometimes they're single parents, their parents are in prison, or both the parents are dead, or adopted, or foster kids, or troubled child, or at-risk youth. We call it underserved children. So we'll give them all scholarship, and what we do is we help them get their high school GED, class 12 equivalent in India, and then we also help them get job. And through that process, they begin to understand and we care for them so much. So it's a different style of evangelism. So instead of saying like, hey, do you know Jesus? Do you know the Bible? They're like, no, it's too boring. So we help them first, and they ask, how come you're always helping? Then we point them to Jesus. So it's an indirect way of evangelism. So everybody talks these days, right? Everyone's always talking. So even my logo said, talk is cheap, let's do something. So we're trying to help these kids through evangelism and through all these sources. And then the ultimate result is we're really here because we want to help people find Jesus, find the answer to their life. And then the key to all these things we're doing deep in our heart, we don't have kids. We're married 22 years. So the reason we're doing all this in the end is to really cast the vision and dreams. So there can be a bunch of mini Cosmo or mini Sarah. So they'll go and do bigger and better things. So we're already doing all these crazy things all around the world. But how powerful will it be if we can find the kids, 10 kids or 100 kids, they'll go just show the lights of Jesus to the world. So right now we, out of 240, 50 students, we have 40, 50 students on scholarship. So the new dojo we are starting next month, and we're going to give up to 200 kids for free. So because we're going to have 500, 600 kids there, we want to give 200 kids a scholarship, free student, and they get to learn Kung Fu, and they can find hope, they can find Jesus. We're going to help them with their homework and GED and the other things they need. One other thing we've been doing is post-COVID-19, a lot of these kids are very depressed, anxiety. So maybe same here in Nagaland, I don't know, but we're able to help a lot of kids that are depressed because we're able to find them hope. So kids come in so depressed, we say, hey, you can do it, as simple as like high five. And then we give them some task, and we give them baby steps, like small goals. And then we have a big goal, so becoming a champion, or getting high school GED, right? Or getting a job. So eventually they begin to realize they're not alone. So the world right now is so depressed. Just to show up is a big deal. Everyone is so busy doing, I don't know what they're doing, but people are so busy. So the fact that we're here is we're valuable. So that's the only difference. By the way, we're not better than anyone. We're not stronger. We're not more money or anything like that. We actually don't even have money, but we always make money, available to those who needs, and like we're always trying to make times available. We're always trying to make the, resource available, and we're always pointing them the way because, as I said before, we're always talking and, we don't see the results. So we have in the past, we have helped, over thousands of students in the last 15 years. We have our dojo for 15 years now. And we're able to actually help a lot of them towards finding God's and purpose in life. So we're shooting also a series right now called 100 series. So it's going to be 100 kids' testimony and story of success stories.
First of all, thank you so much, and welcome back to Nagaland.
Yeah, thank you.
So I would just want to know this, since ma'am, as she was explaining, ma'am, you mentioned about you started this non-profit organization in the year 2003, which is like almost 22 years now.
Yeah.
So I want to know if there is a name for this non-profit organization. Is there any such names given?
Yeah. Yeah. Called the International Missionary Network, IMN.
So I want to know, you've mentioned starting a Bible college here in Nagaland.
Yeah.
So Nagaland is like, you have many places and also.
Yeah.
So Nagaland is in different parts of Nagaland or in Dimapur?
We're thinking about, we're still looking for a place. But we're thinking about starting with just very small, like 15, 20, like a pastoral training. And it'll be in Dimapur, somewhere here. We're looking for a place. And then we'll be personally sponsoring the cost, and it'll be free to the community, So even lodging and food and their training, everything will be free. But this will be available only to the poorest area of Nagaland. So it's not for... Kohima or, Chumukedima and, Dimapur. It'll be really remote, poor areas. And we can always take one or two from here, but mostly we're focusing, like I said before, we're not here to compete with the Bible college. We're here to give opportunity to the Nagaland side of the poverty area. So the ultimate goal is to really reach them for Christ. So we're just here with the vision. We don't have much. It's not like we're, millionaire, but we have a big heart. So we're not afraid to start anything as long as God is with us, right? So that's one of our first project here, and many more projects to come in Nagaland.
So sir, behind this college that you're planning to start, any specific time could you give us, if you guys have any plan for any specific time?
Yes, we'll start in the end of this year. So we might start finding a place and just build a small areas. And then we're hoping we can start by the end of the year. So our pastor Alex here is our Dimapur contact person. And so we'll look for a small place and start and just build a small house, very simple, tin, and make sure it's not too hot, but also we're not looking for a big brick mortar building. It's a very simple building, and we'll be sponsoring even the teachers. We'll be paying teachers and all the missionary that comes, poor village pastors, so they'll be all free. It's like 1-year training, very simple training. And then we'll have a next batch. So we're hoping every year we can increase a little bit. So eventually train 100, 200 pastors a year. That would be very great, Yeah.
Sister, you have mentioned about personally sponsoring.
Yes.
So, it will be from your listing project or any resources, because since you're planning to set up a college or school here,
Yeah.
and then you'll be sponsoring all those students as well as teachers and all.
Yes.
So from your project only you want to sponsor all these staffs and all?
Yeah, so I set aside some money. I work really hard, first of all, right? So always I set aside some money, like 10%. So I save up money and then I start a project, and I save up money and I will start a small project. So I save up, personally we save up money and we sponsor, but we have friends and family that just pitch in. So we don't have a big NGO or anything like that. We have an NGO, we have a nonprofit, but we don't have a big NGO. So mostly it's just my friend circle and family, and we have a big vision. So we went and started the first school in Manipur, and there was a need on the second village. There's 5 villages with no school. So we started the second school because there was no school. And then the third school, there's these 2 villages, and they combined a government school. And the school was extinct. So we started the third school because there was a need. There was no school, so we just went to help. First of all, we didn't even want to start the third school, but there was a need. So we said, we'll help you with the school a little bit. So we're not going around looking for school. We're not trying to open a lots of school around the Nagaland or Manipur. We're not entrepreneur in that way, but we'll love to help people find hopes. It's so powerful when you give somebody that has nothing and give them food. If you find a beggar and give them home and shelter and job, that beggar is thankful forever, right? So the one that has less are more thankful, number one. Number two is nobody wants to help the one that's less. Everybody wants to be the fame and name, and everybody wants to do the big thing, right? But we want to do the thing that nobody sees. We're here today because we just thought we will challenge people. If they want to come alongside with us, we can pitch the vision with them individually. Because right here in Dimapur, there's a lot of things. Chamukidima in Dimapur, there's lots of resources. We could tell them how their small money can go so far. Because what we do, we have no corruptions, no admin fees. We're not making any money out of it. We come on our free will. Nobody pays me to do this. So I have my business running. So the NGO don't pay me. We put money to the NGO. So I work really hard, and she work in a rescue mission. So I have my own company with my wife, but my wife also works for another company. So we use those resources to pour in, and we challenge people. Because we're already helping, we ask other people to come and help along us.
And also, the goal too, we help them, but our goal is to start businesses to help them self-sustain. So we can help them for a little bit, but if we can get a bus line or a taxi or a small shop or things like that, then those things will help the school to be self-sustaining. And that's our goal too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sir, I just went through your bio, and
Yeah.
you are chief instructor of the Young Hand Campaign International. And
Yes, ma'am.
You have so many degrees like
Yeah.
So sir, where in USA is this Young Hand Campaign?
Yes, we're located in Nampa, Idaho, USA. It's a little bit above California and the more mountains area.
So sir, any plans to open your campaign here in?
Yeah, that's why we came here. That's the thing that we're not actually sharing and other things, but we want to open here and we want to do the same thing. So we want to open like a gym fitness, and then want to open like a Thailand Muay Thai kickboxing, boxing. But we like to offer scholarship to the poor in Dimapur, Chamukidima areas, and we like to reach them for Jesus. and we also like them to do the same. Our goal is to really help people, maybe small or big, teenager, adult. Our goal is to really set fire where it's like a mountain fire. Little fire, the spark becomes so big. Because we're doing something good. We're not here to promote ourselves, but we want people to know that you don't have to have money. You don't have to have money to do something. I started this very crazy. In America, when I first went there, I had no green card. So they need money in back home. So I mowed the lawn. I mowed the lawns of my friends, and they gave me $50. I sent that 50 to the widows. So I don't need a lot of money. I started with nothing. So I work hard, and now we have more money. We're able to help. But the plan that we have, there's no way we're going to do it ourselves. So we will need our Naga people to come alongside as volunteer, worker, even finance, even prayer. And even in America, the same thing. We always challenge people. Part of the reason we're here, we're not afraid to talk, is because we're always doing it. We're not afraid to tell people to give because we're always giving. We're not afraid to tell people to volunteer because we're always volunteering, right? So we lead by example. We're not, by no means we're better than anybody, but we have the heart of fighting. We have the heart of fighting for a purpose. We live in a purposeless world where everyone is bickering and everyone's so selfish, self-centered, corrupted, and lots of things. So we've got to bring hopes. So let's start from one kid. If today what I shared touched one kid in Nagaland, wow, we have done our job, right? We're not here to explode this city and be the best and the biggest and this, but we're here to impact one person that's listening today. That's our goal. So everywhere we go, we just keep trying. We're like almost crazy. We have to be crazy to do what we're doing because there's very less reward. Nobody even knows what we're doing, except today we talk in your TV a little bit. Thank you so much for the opportunity, by the way. But we don't talk anywhere, not so much on Facebook, we don't promote. But we do it out of the goodness of our heart. But now we want people to do it. So Pastor Alex is like, let's share to the world what you do because it's very unique, right? Not necessarily better, but it's so unique. And if we can cast the vision today, like go good to the world, I think we can do so much good in this world. And we can change Nagas, be it Manipur or Nagaland, we can make an impact to the Naga community.
Viewers, apnihan press conference laga upor de detail ba hunilushe. Yade Cosmo Zimik aro talaga Mikey Sarah Zimik prabi itu empty hand compet aro International Mission Network laga upor de tahan detail ba explain kurilushe. Tahan koisi that in the year 2003 there tahan ekta non-profit organization shuru kurishe almost 22 years hushe tahan itu non-profit organization da shuru kurigina aru itu non-profit organization laga naam da ase koanishna International Missionary Network ase yede Sarah Zimik prabi janibole dishe that tahan Manipur debi school khulai gena ase tinta school khulai na ase with 47 staff ase usharo bishi volunteers pa edu school de matat kure ase guna bi janibole dishe aro tan ina kam gurina ja do chuntu dukhya manu khan like school jawole napara khan nulibi adults kan aro parents athagina nule family problem khan thakange tan sponsor kurigina tahan edu school dibi production tikla nuhigina tahan itu empty hand compared kuntekta martial arts ase itu Mr. Zimik prabi shikagina tatiba tahan edu non profit organization de tahan inaga kurna bajahange motot kure gushi aro tikla nuine taikhan by the end of this year Nagaland dibi especially in Dimapur tahan ekta Bible college khulibole mun jai seguna tan bhabi ase itu tahan itia Nagaland energy press conference dia do Bible college khulibole laga opor dibi tahan reveal kurise aro tahan itia samai to tahan mati khan bisarina jai segshi daga me am naga manu khan ami khan naga manu khan barjun ba matat kubole mun jai in cash or in kind or in prayers or nolibi volunteer kubole mun jai segle do ta itu bi appeal kurigina ase itukla nohigina tahan laga maqsad to tahan manu khan ke chutu bi hobi dangor hobi tan kindaga waste pa matat kurule lage tan matat kurubo kana bi kuise tahan laga kindaga tahan ke reach out kuru shrido on screen di apni khan dikhibo tahan laga mail bi tahan digina se ami khan tahan ke reach out bi kurule parbo kana bi di ami hala viewers ke janibuli di ase Tiagane Mani for more news and updates keep watching Global Window. This is Chanbini with my video journalist Anong reporting from Hotel Place Jumukitima.